Do you get really nervous and overinvest when you really like someone and it pushes them away? Or you get really upset when they don't text you back within a few hours or days? These patterns can make dating really hard for women, or if you're female identifying, because our emotions can be exhausting. And if you're disproportionately nervous or upset, you've made the stakes higher with this person than they need to be. You're overvaluing them in your life. In this lesson, I'm going to show you the attachment perspective that explains why you do this. And stick around to the end of the lesson because I'll show you the simple solution to rewiring your dating experience so that you can stop exhausting yourself and expecting too much from people that you hardly even know. And if you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Amy and I work with women who struggle with insecurity and anxiety in dating and relationships. And I help them to awaken to their self-worth and heal their relationship inside to make them secure so they can attract and create a healthy, conscious relationship with someone that they truly deserve. And if you want more content on this topic, please subscribe to my channel, hit the bell button so you get notified because I'm posting new lessons like this every week. Now, before I get started on today's lesson, I want to let you know that a few places have opened up on my calendar for the free one-to-one strategy call for the Love by Design program with me. So if you'd like to know more about how to book that, please stick around to the end of the lesson because I'll show you then. Now, when you get overly nervous on a date, it's a sign that you're overvaluing that person, that you really place them to have higher importance in your life than where you're at. This might be dates 1 to 3 or weeks 1 to 3. We have a tendency to get carried away in a fantasy of possibility, and then we get really attached to that possibility. Now, this fantasy really represents the ideal attachment partner that we need in order to feel safe and secure. And they actually originate from our original attachment blueprint as children when we didn't get our needs met by our primary caregivers. And we came up with traits and attributes of someone that could meet them to make ourselves feel safe and secure. Now, fast forward that into our intimate relationships or when we're dating in a relationship, when we highly overreact or disproportionately overreact, it's a sign that that attachment blueprint is at play. They're not fulfilling this idea, this projection we have of them that they must do something in a certain way or in a certain time frame in order for us to feel safe. Now, interestingly, if you're dating and you tend to fantasize about that person, say you've only had a couple of dates with them and you're projecting all these fantasies into that, those fantasies are actually what I call a ghost figure. You tended to create the same fantasies again and again throughout your life as an adult in your dating experiences, and you're just switching out the person in that role because the fantasy figure itself is a combination of all the needs you didn't get met in childhood and also all the needs you didn't get met in all of your past relationships as well. So let's look at this dating ghost figure that appears in our mind as a fantasy when we meet someone new. That's a sign that our attachment connection is being triggered and something deeper is going on. So this fantasy person, from an attachment blueprint perspective, says all the right things, does all the right things, does it all in the right time frame, and it gives you everything that you never got from your ex-partners and originally that you didn't get in your childhood. And like I said, their personality is a composite based on all of your past experiences and traumas and pains that you had with other partners. Now, it's really important to note that when you are in that kind of fantasy mindset and you're projecting this ghost partner onto whoever it is that you're dating at the time, you're actually disassociating from reality when you're doing that. If you've ever wondered why you didn't even see the red flags on this person and 5 or 6 months down the line you saw them, it's because you were in this disassociation pattern earlier on. Now, this is a coping mechanism that we learned in childhood in order to protect the attachment process and keep it safe. So originally you learned how to do this in childhood when your primary caregivers weren't able to meet your needs. But in order to protect your sense of safety, that it is a safe connection, that everything's okay, you projected a fantasy onto your primary caregivers. It was a really, really smart way of keeping you safe as a child, and it now no longer serves you in your adult relationships. It is a maladaptive way of coping with the uncertainty of dating and relationships. So if you do have this insecure tendency, what you'll find is when you go into the dating scene and maybe you have a date with someone, if there's some kind of possibility of attachment with them, this is going to be your go-to self-soothing process and your coping mechanism to cope with the uncertainty of dating, because dating can be really uncomfortable. It can feel really unsafe to the nervous system. Now, this is a habit that you've gotten yourself into. It's a habit and behavior that you've learned since childhood. And because it's a habit, because it's something you've learned, you can unlearn it. All right, I'm going to go through this process of habit formation and how you can unpack and rewire this cycle of insecure attachment so that you can start to create secure experiences for yourself in your dating experiences. So let's firstly look at what's actually going on when you're in an insecure dating cycle. Now, there are 4 aspects of habit formation. The first one is you've got to have a cue, and then you'll have a craving in response to that cue, and then you'll have an action that you do, and a reward that will always follow that action. So a cue in this instance is you're meeting someone on a date for the first time, second time, third time. Now the craving that comes is that you really like them. When you really like someone in response to the cue, subconsciously you might be projecting this fantasy, this ghost figure, that they're finally going to be the one, right? You're over projecting, like we've already talked about. Now, the action that you will do in response to this deeper craving that you're finally going to be saved and feel safe with someone is that you overinflate and overvalue that person disproportionately for where you're at in the dating stages, okay? Overvaluing someone that you hardly even know is a stranger is an insecure cycle that you're potentially in. And the reward that you get from that is that your body gets flooded with these really feel-good chemicals because you've projected the fantasy and then you've overvalued them, and that's how your body responds. And it really is a chemical reward. And you then prime your body on the date, on the second date, third date, and then the future to only see the good in them because you're constantly feeding your body with these chemicals. This is exactly why you don't see those red flags come up, because you're doing this process of fantasy projection, and this is a habit, a cycle that you're in. Now, the result of something like this kind of cycle is that you put yourself on a roller coaster of emotions because you're flooding yourself with these excessive chemicals, and you miss those potential red flags. You're not effectively discerning them because you're not actually seeing the reality. All right. Let's look at another insecure dating cycle. Let's look at a cue where you notice on your phone you've sent them a message. It might have been a question, and you notice that they haven't responded. And maybe you start to get agitated within the first few hours or maybe the first few days. The craving that you then have in response to that cue is that you have a craving that they're going to text you back, right? To maintain the bond and connection. Now, at a deeper level, you'll know that your attachment mechanism is being activated insecurely because you're actually needing them to text you to feel safe in the bond, right? If they don't text you, it means that they're actually causing a transgression to you at a really deep attachment, like subconscious level. Now your action then, because it's such a deep transgression on what you perceive to be your deeper need for safety, the action that you have is that you get overtly angry or upset at them, and then you personalize it, right? You think that it's because you're not good enough or you're not lovable or another person's ghosted you, right? After a couple of days, that's not ghosting. It just means that they might be busy, right? But that action is like an overt reaction, too much anger, too much upset for the actual reality of the situation. And you probably don't even tell them about it. And maybe when they do contact you when you go on your next date, you just kind of act like everything's normal and everything's fine and you can't believe you overreacted. But no, it's because you felt it at a deep level that they were attacking your sense of safety because of this attachment perspective. Now, the reward you get from overreacting is really interesting to look at. The reward you get is that your limiting beliefs about yourself are reinforced by this cycle. You can remain comfortable in your limiting beliefs where you believe that you're not worthy of love. You believe that you're somehow broken or not good enough, right? Now, it is uncomfortable to break out of limiting beliefs, and because they lie in such a deep subconscious part of who we are, they tend to sabotage and take over all of the things that we do. And when we start to break them down, it is really uncomfortable. So at a deep level, you get to remain uncomfortable when you get really angry and upset at that person and they reinforce your own belief that you're not worthy of love. And the result in a cycle like this is that you overreact unfairly to a person that just might have been really busy for a few days. It's damaging a potentially great connection that you have with someone who, could be healthy and secure. Certainly if you go and act out and you actually do attack that person, it's problematic, and you also get to remain a victim in that situation. Please comment below if any of these scenarios are landing for you. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, so now let's look at what a secure dating cycle looks like. And this is the piece around rewiring your craving, right? We want to hook in at the level of the craving and rewire what's going on there. So the first thing you need to do is really identify what your ghost figure is when dating. Like, what is your filter, your type? What are you kind of latching onto, and what is really important for you? Is it exciting or adventurous, or is it that bad boy that really makes you feel connected and attracted? Any of those aspects around your filter or your type, remember that they're actually forms of self-soothing, and this is the habit that you've learned since you were a child, this fantasy ghost figure projection in order for you to feel safe in your body and feel connected with this person. You're simply calming yourself in order to feel connected with someone that you actually hardly know at all. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to switch out your ghost figure with a vision of a healthy, secure partner and a healthy, secure relationship that is based in reality, not based in fantasy. So what are the attributes of a secure, emotionally available partner and a secure, healthy relationship? And if you have absolutely no idea of what a healthy relationship looks like, I want you to watch this video next. So work to visualize and flood your senses with this image, with this vision in your mind whenever you catch yourself in fantasy. So this would be someone who's really available, trustworthy, respectful, someone who really listens to you and works with you as a team in this partnership, in this container. And so then what you want to do is bring this new vision into the current situation that you've got and have what I call a dating scientist mindset. This is where you stay grounded in the reality of what you're looking for, and you're seeing what they say and do and really discerning to see whether it suits your vision, whether they have those attributes that you know to form a secure relationship with someone. And you've got to stick to collecting data that you're observing over time, because time is what tells us if someone's in integrity, if their words are truly working in alignment with their actions. So observe yourself and catch any fantasy habits as they arise, and revert to really flood your senses with that vision you have of a secure, healthy partner and the relationship container that you're looking to create. So let's look at what it would actually look like in terms of the habit formation in a secure dating cycle. So the cue that you have, again, is that you're meeting someone on a date, and the craving you'll have is that you really like them, but you also know that you hardly know them. You've set that kind of boundary and that flavor around, you know that you hardly know them. You're not working for safety. You don't have that insecure attachment going. You feel safe and secure in your body without the connection needs to be in or out. None of that is necessary. And so then the action that you do is you're staying grounded in the reality and the facts of that person as they present them to you. Their words, their actions, and their energy are what you're focusing on then. You're not like focusing on the fantasy and letting that filter your reality. You're practicing letting go of that fantasy so that you can actually see the reality in front of you. And then the reward that you get from this habit is that you get a true sense of security in your own body, that you're acting in your own best interests and needs. This really creates a sense of self-trust and self-respect in your body when you do this. And the result is that because you're putting yourself on a pedestal and seeing them for the reality of it is, you're not missing any of the red flags. And you have effective discernment skills in this situation without excess energy. And this really is making dating a lot more straightforward and simple for you. So let's look at that second cycle where the cue is you notice they haven't texted you back for a few days or a few hours. Now your craving is, the response is that you actually don't need to feel safe by getting that text or to keep the connection in. You can feel detached because you hardly know them. You can more easily give them the benefit of the doubt that they might be having a busy week, or that they might have decided they don't want to see you anymore and they haven't got the guts to tell you, right? They might be ghosting you. Okay, you have this sense of detachment from them because your blueprint, your attachment system isn't being activated by this process. So again, your action is you're staying grounded in reality and facts. You're not wasting energy around it, because there are so many reasons why they might not be texting you back, and you're not really willing to waste energy on wondering why. And the reward, again, is that you get this sense of self-trust, that you can rely on your own rational sense of self to ground you and to react from that mature mindset, give them the benefit of the doubt, or to let them go. And the result is beautiful. You really place your own happiness and sense of self above any of this kind of game playing or thinking, overthinking or fantasizing that can cause you stress and strain, or any kind of excess worrying that's unnecessary, because you're never going to truly know the answer. So I want you to really look at how your habits have formed around that and really start to effectively notice when your deeper attachment system is getting activated, and work to create a sense of safety and security in your body through this practice of habit formation. Really look at what your response cycle is, and particularly what your cravings are. Letting go of your cravings, letting go of your addictions to love, to fantasy, to lust is such an important aspect of making dating a lot more simpler, and allowing yourself to really discern and sort partners effectively from a place of reality and groundedness. So if you want to know more about the 3 specific steps around creating that secure relationship within yourself and going forward to create it with a suitable partner for you, I want you to join me in my free training. The link is in the description below. And if you'd like to apply for the one-to-one free strategy session with me for the Love by Design program, my calendar link is also in the description below. I also have a free Facebook group, and I would love to see you in it. And please comment below if you have any questions or comments about this lesson. I would really love to hear from you, and give this video a like if you found the content helpful today, because it will really help me and this channel out. Now, here are some next step videos for you to watch so that you can move one step closer to having a secure relationship, firstly with yourself, and then going forward and creating a healthy relationship with a partner that you're truly worthy of. And for now, I'll see you in the next video.